Every time it rains, an orphaned girl receives letters from her mother who vanished years ago. The rain is the only connection between dimensions, but what will she risk to cross over? Our story begins with our protagonist, a young girl named Iris, whose life revolves around two things: painting and waiting for the rain. She lives in a little cottage on the outskirts of town with her adoptive parents, the Millers, who own a greenhouse. Although they treat her well, Iris never feels like she truly belongs, like a piece of driftwood in a rushing river, always moving but never flowing. Since she was a baby, Iris has received mysterious letters in the mail whenever it rains. They're always sealed with a red wax stamp bearing the image of a single raindrop. And the only thing inside is a folded piece of paper with a message written in elegant cursive. Iris, my darling, today it's raining cats and dogs. Just look out your window. It must be quite the sight. Love, Mama. Or Iris, my love, I could really go for some tea right about now. I do hope it's hot chocolate for you. Be good, my little one, and wait for me. Love, Mama. These are the only remnants of a life Iris never knew, the only tangible connection she has to her biological mother, who disappeared when she was just a baby. Most days, Iris spends hours poring over these letters, committing every word to memory. Whenever the weather report forecasts rain, she rushes outside, throws her arms up in the air, and dances in the downpour. Maybe if she concentrates hard enough, she'll be able to catch a glimpse of her mother walking towards her through the falling water. But no matter how much she wishes for it, Iris never sees anyone. One day, while rummaging through the attic, Iris comes across an old trunk filled with her mother's belongings. There's a beautiful white dress with red flowers embroidered on it, a silver locket containing a miniature of a smiling woman, and a stack of watercolor paints. The sight of the paints brings back a flood of memories. Iris used to sit at her mother's feet, watching her paint fantastical creatures on large canvases. One day her mother had even let her hold a paintbrush, guiding her hand as they created a colorful butterfly together. Looking at the paints makes Iris realize that she wants to know more about her mother, about where she went and why she left. Was she ever really gone, or did she simply forget her daughter and move on with her life? To quell her anxiety, Iris takes out the miniature from the locket and studies it. The woman in the picture looks just like Iris, right down to her sparkling blue eyes. As she gazes into them, she can almost hear her mother's laughter echoing in her ears, and she knows in her heart that she wouldn't abandon her daughter like so many other people have. One evening, as Iris is watering the plants in the greenhouse, she has a breakthrough. What if the greenhouse is more than just a greenhouse? What if it's actually a portal that her mother used to travel between dimensions? In search of proof, Iris pores over her mother's letters again. This time she finds a small discrepancy. In some of the letters, the ink bleeds through the paper, revealing faint images of tropical fish swimming in a coral reef. Could this mean that the letters themselves are more than just letters? Are they magical somehow? That night, unable to sleep, Iris sneaks into the greenhouse and places the letters under a glass jar filled with water. In the morning, she comes back to find that the water has turned a brilliant shade of blue and is filled with colorful fish. Iris immediately realizes that her mother's letters are not just portals, they're portals to different moments in time. The letters sent on rainy days are portals to her mother's past, allowing her to temporarily cross over and visit her. But the question remains, how can Iris make the leap herself? Determined to find out, Iris heads to the local library and searches through all their books on magic. She learns that the ink used in the letters is made from crushed dragon eggs, and that the paper is infused with moonlight collected during a total solar eclipse. With this newfound knowledge, Iris sets about collecting the materials herself, buying dragon eggs from a traveling merchant, collecting ink and making a long journey to retrieve the special paper. As Iris works, she thinks about all the times that she's danced in the rain, calling out to her mother and wondering if she was listening. Did she ever feel the same way about her daughter as Iris felt about her? Or has she moved on without a backward glance? Iris decides that no matter what, she's going to find out the truth. With everything ready, Iris heads into the greenhouse. She uses the fish tank as a base, filling it with warm water and placing the finished letter inside. As the first raindrop hits the glass, the water shimmers and Iris dives in. When she comes up for air, she finds herself in a lush jungle surrounded by giant ferns and strange, beautiful flowers. Iris realizes that this place is breathtakingly beautiful, but she doesn't have time to explore. She came here to find her mother and bring her home. Following the sound of running water, Iris comes across a small waterfall hidden between two rocks. Behind it is a cave opening. Taking a deep breath, she steps inside. On the other side is a clearing, and in the center stands a magnificent woman with flowing red hair. She's wearing a familiar white dress and looking at her hands. Iris can see that she has the same white lilies embroidered on it as the dress she saw in the miniature. But the woman isn't painting, which means Iris has arrived at a moment in her mother's past before she gave up art. Taking a step forward, Iris calls out, "Mom, it's me, Iris!" The woman turns around and gasps, dropping her paintbrush. The moment she laid eyes on Iris, a look of pure joy spread across her face. Without another word, she runs towards her, enveloping Iris in the tightest hug of her life. All Iris can do is hug her back and bury her face in her mother's shoulder, breathing in her lavender perfume. When they finally break apart, Iris's mum takes her hand and says, "Come with me. I'll show you everything." The two walk towards a small house with a thatched roof. The walls are decorated with paintings of mythical creatures, each one more spectacular than the last. Inside, Iris finds a fully equipped art studio with easels and paints everywhere. Suddenly, Iris's mom looks stricken with guilt. She tells Iris that she's been hiding something from her and that she needs to tell her the truth. She explains that she's from a long line of powerful witches, but she chose to leave all that behind when she met Iris's father and fell in love. She didn't want to drag him into her world of magic, so she hid her powers and started a new life. Then one day she got pregnant and her magic started to fade away. She didn't know what was happening and was too scared to ask for help. In the end, she gave birth to Iris and placed her in the care of her friend, Hannah Miller, before vanishing completely. She told Iris that she never stopped thinking about her and wanted to come back, but she was afraid that she wasn't worthy. Touched by her mother's honesty, Iris hugs her and says that she understands. She tells her mom that she's proud of her and that she wants to help her get her powers back. Together, they spend the next few days creating new spells and practicing magic. But after a while, Iris starts to miss her home. She hugs her mum goodbye and steps back into the fish tank. As the rain hits the glass, the water ripples and she's enveloped in a warm, fuzzy feeling. She opens her eyes to find herself lying on the floor of the greenhouse. Looking up, she sees the sky has cleared and the sun is shining. She runs to the window and watches as a rainbow stretches across the horizon. Then she turns back to the fish tank and smiles. Now she knows that no matter what happens, she'll always have her mother, both in her heart and in her memories.